What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So we have some pretty controversial stuff happening right now in the Burning Crusade Classic Anniversary. Now, I want to preface this video by saying that I'm having a great time. I know a lot of other people that are having a great time. I'm in a guild, I'm pumping the raids down, I'm about to have my second level 70, my warlock's almost up there, and we're really enjoying it, right? We're having a good time. I love doing the raids. I truly just enjoy the Burning Crusade. But there's some things happening, right? And yesterday, a Wowhead article came out by Slesh the Rogue that I want to go over and talk about some problems that we're actually seeing in the game currently and what I think we can do to fix them if Blizzard wanted to, right? So let's jump over there. Let me share my screen so I can show this to you guys. Okay, so right here, this is the article that came out. Should Blizzard add the WoW token to the Burning Crusade Anniversary servers? This was posted yesterday. The WoW token is perhaps the most controversial topic in the history of World of Warcraft. While the token would certainly have massive implications for a more progressive long-term iteration of World of Warcraft Classic, with TBC Anniversary's shelf life not being too long at all, the WoW token could work. We can all say that with some confidence, this line of the game will come to an end. Meaning that, you know, Burning Crusade, this is basically seasonal TBC. This is TBC Season 3, right? Allowing players to have fun and play however they want makes sense. Also, let's address the elephant in the room. We'll never know exactly how many players are buying gold or at what volume, but it's widely acknowledged that it happens, and this could significantly reduce it. That said, there are plenty of arguments against it, such as that it could create toxicity, as some players will be willing to shell out cash for gold and craft their spell strike sets, for example, and be ahead of the other players, or afford higher end consumables and perform better in raids. There's also concern about gold inflation. As for the economic concern, the WoW token itself is purchased with real money sold on the auction house, and another player buys it with in-game gold. Thus, there's no new gold being created. Rather, it's an exchange. Speaking to the pressure to perform with gear and consumables, the environment you play in certainly impacts this. This version of the game feels more like communities are confined to guilds than to the realm. Of course, some players rely on pugs, so the benchmark for gearing or preparation could be increased in some groups should this be added. Now, I'm not going to read through this entire article, but I just want to, briefly show you guys that this kind of is something that a lot of people talked about. And I want you to be a little bit open-minded here when we start getting into this conversation, right? We're going to do a little walk and talk into Grand. We're having a good time. We're chilling. So, personally, what I think is, Slesh brings up a lot of good points here. This is a seasonal TBC. This is not a permanent TBC. It is nothing like the original TBC. Hell, it's not even close to the same as last TBC, TBC Season 2 that we got after 2019 Classic. It's very, very different. And I'd argue that gatekeeping and the buying the crafted gear and all that is even worse now than it was last time regardless, because everyone was so prepared for this time. I mean, if you played Vanilla Anniversary for the last, 12 months before this came out, dude, people had gold cap on there. I mean, people had insane amounts of gold. And people are still buying gold. GDKPs have been banned since day one of Anniversary. Gold buying has still been an extreme problem all throughout Anniversary. I have people in my guild that are getting banned on a daily basis for buying gold, for selling tank services, all sorts of weird stuff. And that's kind of what I want to get into, right? Now, I know that you guys have kind of crucified me in the comments over the last 3 years of me talking about GDKPs and why I think banning them was a really bad idea. And it's starting to kind of come to fruition here and show why I thought it was a bad idea. And my what I predicted is actually coming true. This started with the GDKP ban, which I'm just going to go on the record and say this. I'm completely okay with the GDKP ban if it's from day one and boosting is also banned. If you get rid of boosting and GDKP, there's not that much reason to buy gold in World of Warcraft Classic outside of just for your consumables, which, if that's the only thing you're buying gold for, most people can afford that without buying gold, right? Especially in TBC. So, boosting and GDKP are banned from day one. We have a cleaner economy. Yes, people will still buy gold, but it'll be drastically less. What happened in Anniversary is we banned GDKP from day one. We didn't ban boosting, so what we saw was people buying copious amounts of gold to boost tons of characters in preparation for the Burning Crusade, which they knew was going to be more alt-friendly, and then buying their consumes with that gold as well. So it didn't really lower the amount of people buying gold. I feel like it was actually the same, if not worse. We've seen Anniversary has had the worst economy in the history of every single classic launch to date. So GDKP wasn't the actual problem. Respect to Blizzard for trying it. I get it. In my opinion, it didn't work at all. But the only other thing that I see as a con with banning GDKP is it kind of opened this door to policing how people play the game. Now, WoW Classic has always been a game that you kind of could play however you want. You know, just because you're a sweaty raider doesn't mean that everyone has to be, right? There's people who play this game as sweaty raiders, doing split runs, all that. There's people who play this game at a more casual pace. They level to cap level pretty slowly. They jump into pugs. They have fun like that. There's PvPers who never step foot in a raid. And then there's the people who like to just level characters, and that's all they do in the game. They don't step foot in a raid. They don't do endgame arenas, PvP, none of that stuff. They just love leveling characters, and maybe they don't even hit cap level ever. They get to level 45 and they reroll another tune, and that's how they enjoy playing the game, and that's fine. People can enjoy this game however they want. Now, enter GDKP. GDKP came into the game, and this was a very popular way of raiding, right? Because it allowed you to raid and earn gold, and even if you didn't win a piece of gear or, you know, you got something out of it, you earned some gold, which you then use to either help gear your alt in another GDKP or fund consumables for your main character that was in a guild raid. We got rid of that. So now that took away a major portion of how people like to enjoy playing the game. Now we're starting to see people get banned for other things that are pretty gray areas, right? And I've read through the TOS myself, and I still don't fully understand what's bannable and what's not. The wording is very vague, and I also feel like it could be better. It just needs to be way more simplified and clear, right? I've had one of the main raiders, actually my raid lead in my group, got banned 2 weeks ago for selling tank services. He was a prop paladin. He was selling tank services and got banned for it. So I'm very confused as to what is actually allowed in the game and what is not. And I think I've seen this outcry from the community. Like, everyone is getting kind of fed up with not knowing how we're allowed to play this game. I do understand that Blizzard is trying to force this guild play culture in Anniversary. And I'll be completely honest with you, I'm not a fan of it. I've never been a fan of it. I like guilds for leveling and your IRL friends or whatever. And, you know, a few of you form a raid group, a pug or whatever. You get some pugs and you go run the raids. I am not a big fan of the mega, like, guild style of play. I don't think a lot of people have the time for it. I think it's a lot more time consuming. Just running my 25-man and one Kara out of that 25-man has been extremely time consuming for me for the past 3 weeks. It is a lot more work than people realize, and you're not getting paid to do that. You have to sit there and talk to all these people and make sure you have all the buffs and debuffs or whatever if you're trying to be a good raid. And this person can't make it this week, and then, oh, that 2 people got banned. Okay, now you got to replace them. You're putting in so much work. I'll be honest with you guys, the way that I enjoyed playing WoW since 2019 was, yeah, I was in a guild on my main. I would jump into guild runs, but I played alts in a pug way. I pugged all my alts in GDKPs. I had fun doing that. I could play on my time. I logged in. If I wanted to do a raid tonight, I formed or joined a GDKP pug and did that. Since Anniversary has launched, the pug scene has been completely trash. It is gone, and it is horrible because we removed GDKPs. I know you guys are going to get mad at me in the comments for talking about GDKPs, but you got to be open-minded here and understand that there is nothing wrong with people playing this game how they want to play. It didn't stop gold buyers. People are still buying gold. People are still buying gold and getting their entire Frozen Shadow Weave set or their Spell Strike set, running the best consumes while you're out there farming primals just to buy consumes and live paycheck to paycheck every week, essentially, right? That's a thing still. It didn't go away. It's in the game right now. So my problem with the GDKP ban from day one was that we were starting to police how people enjoyed and played the game. And it's now extended into, I guess we can't sell tank services, or maybe we can. Maybe some people can and not get banned. Maybe some people do it and get banned. Nobody knows. It's a massive gray area, and we don't fully understand why people get banned for certain things when other people don't. You know what I mean? We had the whole confusion on if boosting is bannable. Is boosting bannable? Is boosting not bannable? I still, to this day, don't know the actual answer to that. Can you boost people for gold in dungeons and not get banned? Maybe. Can you boost people in gold, in dungeons for gold and get banned? Yep, I'm sure you can. So I don't understand, but I do know that if we're banning GDKPs, if we're banning tank selling services, which, by the way, tanking in the Burning Crusade is a horrendous experience. You know, I think that Season of Discovery did give everyone sod brain, which is what people call it. And they don't understand that, like, threat is a thing. Tanks don't have the instant, like, the capabilities to instantly rip threat back from you and have tons of threat over everyone else. People just pull before you. They take all the threat. You're having trouble getting threat back. Your healer leaves the group mid-run. Like, it is, if you ran heroics, you know how much of a nightmare it could actually be, right? I do think that we're kind of headed down this weird path for WoW Classic, and it's my favorite game. I love it. I'll never stop covering it on this channel. But Blizzard, if you are watching this video, I know you watch some of my videos, we really need to rethink what we're doing here with the fact that this game used to be, you know, it's a theme park MMO, but there was a lot of sandbox elements to how you enjoyed and played the game. And we're getting into this point where it's such a weird gray area where people do not know what they're allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do to earn gold, right? We need it to either be super clarified and spelled out bullet points saying, you can get banned for selling tank services. You can get banned for selling items in dungeons as a tank, as a real player. You can get banned for selling warlock summons. You can get banned for selling mage food and portals. Because here's the thing, if tanks can't sell tank services, it's kind of the same thing as mages selling portals and food, right? It's the same thing as warlocks selling summons. So where is the line? Where do we draw the line? And this is what happens when you open Pandora's box of policing how people can play the game. Of course, people who are hacking, botting, buying gold, whatever, yes, ban those people. But these functions of things in the game, why should someone not be able to sell their services? It's kind of weird, right? It's always been a way that people have made money in WoW. It's arguably one of the best ways to make money. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you guys an example. If you open up any of your professions, is any of this profitable without procs? Negative 10 gold to craft all these flasks? I mean, come on, dude. Like, literally, none of this is profitable off the rip, right? So how do people make money? That's how they do it. They farm a tank set, they go sell tanking services. Mages sell food and portals. Warlocks sell summons everywhere. I don't really think there's anything wrong with this. And this was my fear with banning GDKPs, is that we were starting to get into a territory where this was a community-made raid like game mode in the game that people loved, and we got rid of it and made it a bannable offense. And now we're hitting a point where people are getting banned for making gold in other ways. And I don't even know if everyone's getting banned for it. Some people are getting banned for it. What is the criteria? What are we allowed to do? What aren't we allowed to do? So Blizzard, if you're watching this, please, I beg you to either reconsider these decisions you're making, like changing how people could play the game. That was always such a freeing feeling, knowing that you can play this game any way you want. And not only in the leveling, rating, PvP, casual player, sweaty player, with how you made your gold, you played however you wanted, right? And you got to realize that not everyone is cut out for the guild mentality where you have to play in a guild and all this stuff. Some people like playing as a solo pug. And what we're doing is getting rid of the ability to do that. Farm our own gold, form our own, pug raids and all this. All these pug raids for Gruul and Mag are a nightmare for the most part. You can't do it anymore. Getting rid of GDKP destroyed the pug scene, which was my favorite way to play the game on my alts. My main's always in a guild, but I always play my alts in the pug scene, so it's less stressful. I don't need to worry about other people. I just log in and raid on my time. But I do fear that we're entering a dark period here for Classic WoW, where people don't know what they're allowed to do, don't know what they're not allowed to do. I personally would love to know. I'm really enjoying myself in TBC, and it's kind of scary because before my raid lead got banned for that, I was actually going to start selling tank services. I built an entire prot set. Check it out. Whole prot set, fully decapped. I was like, you know what? This is going to be the best way for me to farm money. I'm going to sell tank service. Then he got banned, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, no, I can't do that. There's no way I'm risking getting banned. But I don't even know if it's bannable or it's not. I have no idea. So we need clarification, and in my opinion, we need to rethink what we're doing here. The best part about Classic has always been the community and what the community comes up with, community events, community-run game modes, and I think we're going a little too far here and kind of deleting some of the make your own fun aspects of the game, which was a strong point for Classic WoW in my opinion. But I would like, you know, to say again, because I know you guys are going to attack me in these comments and be like, oh, all you do is talk about GDKPs. I'm not only talking about GDKPs. And like I said before, I am completely fine with them banning GDKPs if boosting is also completely banned from day one. I also think that boosting and GDKPs should be banned in Classic Plus. If it's going to be a permanent version of this game where our characters are being built for years and we're going through this game and progressing through new content and all that, absolutely ban these things. But at this point, we're playing TBC Season 3. We know what happened to our side characters. All of that time just went in the trash. Yes, you had fun, but those characters are gone. You're never going to play them again. They're not transferring to any other version of the game. And essentially the same thing's going to happen here with TBC. So that Wowhead article about the WoW token, yeah, I mean, to be honest, it kind of makes sense to me. Add the WoW token, add faction change, race change, server change, whatever. Add all of the stuff. Let people blast through the game and have fun at this point. It's seasonal. None of it matters. Do I think that that stuff should be in Classic Plus? No. But it's a completely different ballgame than a seasonal version of Classic. This is a super accelerated timeline of TBC, apparently. It's seasonal. Like I said, TBC Season 2. I don't care if they add the token, faction change, this 3-day Kara lockouts would be sick. Why not? Just make the game fun to play while it's here, right? This is like, you know, this is just the next thing while we wait for the next thing, which you guys know is Classic Plus. We're all waiting for a Classic Plus announcement at BlizzCon. We are all waiting for that. That is why we're here. So let people enjoy it. It's not original TBC, not even close to TBC from 2019. It's a very fun experience. I'm having a blast, but there's a lot of weird things going on, and I really, really feel like we need some clarification from Blizzard. So again, Blizzard, if you're watching, please give us some clarification on what's bannable, what isn't, and kind of rethink what we're doing here with the seasonal versions of WoW. I'm on board for all of these things being banned in a Classic Plus environment, but for a seasonal TBC the third time around on an accelerated timeline, I don't know. It doesn't make that much sense to me. But again, this is just my opinion. None of what I'm saying is law. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just a WoW player like you guys. And I just like talking about these things and bringing them to light and kind of hearing everyone's opinions. So I do urge everyone in the comments to please give me your best opinion on what we just talked about here. I want to know your take, your point of view, your experiences so far in Anniversary from Vanilla and in TBC. Let me know your experiences. Follow me over on Twitch, twitch.tv/hammerdance. We stream Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. And subscribe to the channel if you guys love Classic WoW as much as me. But I just wanted to bring this up. I think this is a good thing. We need to have a nice community discussion about this. So I will be parsing through all of those comments and possibly make a follow-up video to this. So thank you guys so much for watching and listening in. Go easy on me in the comments. I know you're waiting. You're waiting on your keyboard right now. You're sitting there. Oh, he said GDKPs. I'm going to get them. Just think about what you say before you say it, please. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I love you all. Take care.